Tonight's eSpark series is brought to you by Filter Time. I'm HD Motorsports, and joining me in the booth tonight, as always, is Zane, the bearded one, and down on pit lane is going to be Red 4424. As always, Zane, it's another great week. Sunday night, eSpark series brought to you by Filter Time. Tonight, the boys are going to Michigan. I'm going to call it right now. If his controller dies tonight, it's not a conspiracy. It was meant to be. How's it going, brother?
Wait a minute. Is that a slide at Mordog? I feel like you just you made a dig at Mordog so casually in that conversation there. Like, I don't think anyone would have picked up on it unless they knew about the history of you and Mordog. But I'm doing great, man. We're at Michigan, high speed, low drag, big corners. The building is supposedly painted the rotten color if you ask a YouTube content creator, but I'm still waiting on that hour-long video because he said he was going to do a whole manifesto, but I haven't seen it yet, so it might be the right color. But, I'm excited. It's eSpark Series. Often recreated, never duplicated, and obviously some of the best racing that you can see on a Sunday night here on NASCAR Heat 4.
Oh, yeah. Coming into Michigan, Zane, let's just talk about the track real quick. This is one of those tracks that either can be really good, a lot of exciting side-by-side action. I mean, we could possibly see 5 wide at times going down into turns 1, going down into turns 3. But on the flip side of that, it can also be very dangerous. I think the guys out here need to realize tonight that the draft is going to be in full effect with 35-plus cars out on track. We need to give some room out here. But, Zane, I think they are. I think it's going to be a great race.
You really called it out. Patience is a virtue tonight. 5 wide, 4 wide. We saw it in Pro League exhibition races where some of the guys made some last lap passes to pull off a win. Guys were going 2, 3, 4 wide, pushing, driving like a restrictor plate track. We're going to see a lot of that tonight. The interesting aspect, though, is who's going to be patient enough to get themselves up front and win this race. And honestly, who's going to be able to take down the Bolt and Track Bar? I think Track Bar is back this week. We know he's fast. He's one of the dominant cars in the eSpark series. The Bolt going for 4 wins this season. Those guys are looking strong. And then you got to talk about the guys on the outside looking in just in the championship race. We got 2 guys that are locked in based off points. And there's a lot of hungry drivers that are that close to getting locked in based off points if there's not enough winners. So you really have to start asking your questions. Do you put yourself in position to win, or do you put yourself in position to get there on points if you're on that bubble?
Yeah, you got to go with the points. I mean, to get yourself in position to win, I mean, we're talking about the Bolt. We're talking about Track Bar. These guys have won 6 combined total races. That's half the races so far this season. And then you look at a guy like Fluffy last week. He was able to do. He finally got that monkey off his back. He was able to get it done at Kentucky Motor Speedway in a wild finish. So don't throw Fluffy out, man. I think he can win at least 1, possibly 2 more races before this season's all said and done.
Oh, yeah, and you say monkey off his back. I'm going to say horse and carriage off his back because he worked his tail off. He had moments of doubt early in this season, thought he really wasn't cut out to be a part of the eSpark series or racing competitively on Xbox. And last week he showed, hey, I'm the man, I'm the myth, I'm Fluffy Stenhouse Jr. in that 17, and he's doing what he needs to. He's locked himself into the playoffs. But really, let's look at this list of drivers we got. We got Stay Finesse, Skirt Bush, Diamond, J-Mac, K. Rainey, Mordog, Tom, just to name some of the drivers. The Bolt, we talked about him. Freddie, right? He could be a winner tonight. But really, as these laps start to wind down and this race gets on, we're talking 100-plus laps. We're looking at a pit window of anywhere between 14 to 16 laps. That's a blink of an eye at these speeds. So before you know it, you're racing hard. You're down on pit road. You got to get that on and off time down. You can lock them up. We can see a lot of that happen where guys get off track, lock up the tires, lock up the brakes, and now they're sliding across the track, killing somebody. Virtually, of course, not in real life because that would be awful. But really, HD, my question for you is, who's your picks for tonight? Who do you got your eyes on? Who are you watching from up here in the booth with your binoculars like you're a little bit of a peeping Tom?
Well, whose birthday is it, honestly? Because that's been the winner.
Yeah.
The last 2 winners. And it's been their birthday. And, my birthday.
Dude, that's in every league right now.
My birthday's coming on Tuesday. Sadly, I'm not out here racing tonight. But, honestly, whose birthday is out here in the eSpark series and the Cup series? I'm going to go ahead and pick them. But now, in all seriousness, man, I got to go with the Bolt. The kid is good. Okay. The kid is fast. He had a car last week that was able to get it done. Found himself in a predicament where he had to work his way up through traffic late. Couldn't quite get there before it was all said and done. But I think he puts himself in the right position tonight at Michigan, and he gets it done for this 4th race win.
Who's your dark horse of the night?
Dark horse, I'm going to go with Jose 720. I was watching a little bit of the AKA stream a little bit earlier with Frozen Toes, and J-Mac and Frozen Toes does a wonderful job representing them. But I saw Jose up there. He finished second in Indianapolis. I think Jose 720 as a dark horse pick at Michigan. He's back in the setup world. I think he can get it done.
Oh, there's some really good picks. I got to say, I did not expect Jose 720, but you know what? The guy has been strong. I've been watching a couple of guys, and I'll tell you who I'm actually keeping an eye out for tonight. So as my not my dark horse, but my pick of the night is going to be Brian Tedeschi in that 22. He's been a top 5 car. He's been up there with these guys. He's a pro league driver, so he knows how to wield this track with a custom setup. But really, my dark horse pick for the evening, and a lot of people may laugh, the 32 of Go Fast Matt. With the Matthew Militia out there in the crowd, we're probably going to see some people getting loud, just like Dale Jr. used to do when he would go to the lead. And those guys have been showing up in swarms. He's already won a race this year. But here's the thing, is last week we saw it. He was strong. He was fast. He got away up front. We're at almost you can call it a super speedway if you really want to get technical about it. So watch for that 32 Go Fast machine to push his way up front and hopefully pull in the victory lane.
Yeah, we're getting some qualifying results in right now as we speak. Track Bar is on the pole position with Stout Whiskey sitting there, P2, and Stout Whiskey's actually currently sitting 8th in points, 88 points behind your current points leader, and that's going to be the Bolt sitting at 361. Track Bar 8 points behind him.
Well, that's only because the Track Bar was unable to race last week. So it's a different question. If Track Bar was here last week, would he still be the points leader, or would the Bolt been able to, leapfrog him? So it's really going to be that battle. We talk about it every week. David and Goliath, the Bolt versus Track Bar, the young one versus, the wild one. I don't know how to lift. I'm just going to mat it to the floor, Track Bar. Those two guys have been like two heavyweight champions, boxing, beating it out, haymakers, uppercuts every week. We might see it again. It could be the Bolt and Track Bar show. But interesting enough, I got people talking in chat here over on my side talking about their picks are Johar and Stout Whiskey as their dark horses, and talk about them, running up front right now.
Yeah, they're up there. Oh, I need to turn down my TV, actually, as we're talking.
I need to turn down my TV.
I need to play that up. And actually, we're live right now, Zane, as they go down to the turn 1. Track Bar there in that 37. Scott's toilet paper machines. Going to be side by side still with Stout Whiskey in the 34. Going down the backstretch with the 17 of Fluffy sitting P3.
Is this the race, or is this qualify still?
Nah, this is the race, man. We're live.
What? I never got the invite.
We are live. Dohar is the host. Zane, come on out here, baby.
If someone says they give the invites, I'll show up.
Well, the 40 car Starlo was right there. They got a little side-by-side action. 3 wide down into turn 1. Someone fell off into the grass there. Able to hold it together, though. Still, your race leader is going to be the 37 of Track Bar with the 5 of Mordog sitting P2.
I'm still trying to get into on your own here for a little bit because no one sent me an invite. I feel left out, like the fat kid at prom.
That was more smoke that got sent to the inside down the front stretch there, HD, as it looks like everything's finally starting to calm down. Everybody's lining up as they're coming out of 4.
Yeah, they're starting to get single filed out here, Fred, like you just said. It's tough break for more smoke. Luckily, it's still early in the run. But yeah, top 4 is all single filed out. Give you a quick rundown. Track Bar 37 to 5 on Mordog P2, 34 Stout Whiskey P3, 40 Starlo actually going side by side, trying to get up under the 34 Stout. Battle for 3rd.
I'm just able to watch as they're coming down the back stretch on lap 3. Roughly, let's talk about fuel mileage here. I know a lot of these guys are going to try to pit between lap 13 to 15. Do you think you'll see anybody stretching it out, trying to get that 20 laps? Or do you think the time difference will cause them to lay off?
If anyone's Super NASCAR fan, he's done it week in, week out, Super NASCAR fan. But I am in this race right now, and Track Bar HD is working that bottom, trying to close the door on Stout Whiskey as we come off 2, but they are stacking it behind him as they're 3 wide with Mordog, Stout Whiskey, and I'm trying to see who's on the bottom there.
That's the 40 of Starlo. That's the 40 of Starlo, followed by the 32 of Go Fast Matt. And there's that 42 of Chrome Capone working his way towards the top 5. As Go Fast Matt now under for 4th place, battling with the 34 Stout Whiskey. That 40 of Starlo is able to move all the way up to P3. Single file, top 3.
Single file, but the bottom line is a moving right now. We got 4, nose to tail, but there goes the 40 of Sterlo, looking low on Mordog, using that draft from Track Bar to stay with them, but they're door-to-door, side-by-side as they come off turn 2, and this is what Track Bar wants to see. These guys racing for position as he can try to stretch his legs out as we go into 3 here, HD.
And it started looking like a 4-car breakaway, though, with the 34 of Stout Whiskey running a P4, but Go Fast Matt's able to close it up, and there's that draft right there we were talking about, Zane, in the pre-race show. The draft here is so strong, I guarantee you they're running every bit of 215, 218 down into these corners.
Hey, you guys hit a speeds that we didn't think before, 230, 220 plus. These guys right now are pushing the cars to the limit. If this was a movie from the 80s, it'd be Top Gun right now with how fast these guys are going and how close they're beating and banging, trying to move up. But right now, we got a 5-car breakaway as the rest of the field are 2 wide behind the rest of these drivers.
Yeah, there's that 32 Go Fast Matt Militia out there in chat going wild because my man is moving up to a P4. And Zane, Matt is one of those drivers who was very consistent all year long. Here he is showing it yet again, running inside the top 5.
Showing it yet again, and he's got some help right there from Stout Whiskey, beating and pushing him down the front stretch into 1, trying to run down Sterlo, Mordog, and Track Bar as they run through 1 and 2.
And while these guys run single file for the most part, they're starting to separate themselves a bit from the field. Car leading that second pack. Let me try and get a name on this circle through. Can't really tell just yet.
It's going to be Mike D.
Yeah, Mike D in a 66. Here's that 43 of Diego, 18. One of those Pro League drivers running right behind that 66 with the 22 of Beneshi on the high side.
22 of Tedeschi on the high side, working that outside lane, leading the Pied Piper on the outside. But let's take a look up front HD right now because they're starting to spread out 2 wide for the lead. Track Bar has now got some pressure from Mordog. Mordog's going to drop back in line. He's going to think about it, stay in second. Sterlo in no man's land with no help on the outside. Matt's going to use the bottom lane, suck up to the bumper of Mordog as we come down the backstretch into 3.
Man, I've been in this position once before behind this 5-car. But as they come out into turn 3, they're currently side by side for a 3rd place. Go Fast Matt trying to work his way up inside the top 3. He should get it done as caution looks like it's out. First caution of the night here in the eSpark series.
First caution of the night. And I want to go down to Red. Red, what lap was that caution flew right there for me, my man?
Lap 7.
Lap 7. So halfway through a fuel run, HD and Red, you definitely know they're going to come down for tires, a full tank of gas. Now the question becomes, who's going to try to do a little bit of trickery here? Who's going to come out on front? Do you think Track Bar is going to hold that position, put the trust in his pit crew, or is Mordog or Matt going to, maybe leapfrog somebody under this caution?
I think everybody's coming out for 4 fresh tires. I mean, 7 laps halfway through. I mean, you're going to be so slow compared. I mean, these guys are probably going to run 2 to 3 tenths slower compared to the fresh tires, the non-fresh tires. So I expect everybody to come down and, yep, here it is. Track Bar, you're still race leader. The 5 of Mordog on the outside of him. But the 66 of Mike D moving up to 3rd place. 32 of Go Fast Man on the outside. Green flags in the air. Back again here at Michigan.
Green flag back in the air, and there it looks like Track Bar's got a little bit of a lead on Mordog, but that outside line is starting to speed up. Here comes Go Fast Matt in that 32 Ford Keen Parts Mustang, trying to get to his bumper to push him, but the inside line is moving with Mike D, Stout Whiskey, and Sterlo trying to run down our leader here. Ooh, getting a little windshield wipery down the backstretch, HD.
Yeah, got a little loose out there. Not sure if it was just a bump from behind, but as they followed on the turn 3 all together, the 40 of Sterlo is forcing his way down into Coley. 3 wide coming out of turn 4.
3 wide up turn 4, single file back out, move Mordog to 2nd, Mike D to 3rd. He hit that apron coming off of 4, had to get way out of the throttle. We saw the loss of momentum, but he's got some help from the 40 car of Sterlo, pushing him down the front stretch. But right now, Mordog's got his eyes set on the 37 of Track Bar as we get into turn 1.
Biggest loser out of all that's going to be the 34 of Stout Whiskey, starting inside the top 5, well outside the top 10 there after getting forced 3 wide by the Sterlo. He got shoved all the way up the track, able to hold it together though, but running outside the top 10.
Running outside the top 10, but single file all the way back to Stout Whiskey, and then you start to see where they're getting a little too wide action in the back. But these leaders in the top 10 now, single file, wait, I spoke too soon. Sterlo and Mike D on the outside now trying to challenge Mordog for 2nd place as we drive through 1 and 2 here.
Yeah, the outside is not where you want to be. There's this, yeah, you get a little momentum coming off, but Inside is where you want to be, as Mordog is able to slide up just there. He's trying to peak low down the backstretch on the 37 at Track Bar. Track Bar is well aware that he sniffed that bad boy coming out a mile before he even got there. Blocked off Mordog's lane. Track Bar able to stay in your race lead.
Mordog's got a lot, or sorry, Track Bar's got a lot of Mordog in his rearview mirror, but take a look in Mordog's rearview mirror. He's got the 22 of Brian Tedeschi with some help coming, and they're moving quick with the 42 of Chrome Capone, and now the inside line's trying to make a move. Can Mordog get to the bumper? He can't quite get to the quarter panel on the inside. Track Bar's going to get that momentum on the high line.
You know, something interesting I'm noticing early on from this 37 car Track Bar, he's actually winding out towards the exit of the wall a lot more than everybody else. Here he is getting that big arc into the corner. He's going to slide down just in time. But watch this exit right here. He's going to almost exit out all the way to the wall and exit the 4. Actually kept it pretty low right there at that time by, as Padeshi's looking to the outside of the 5 of Mordog. Don't think he's going to be able to get it done. Padeshi's in trouble of dropping outside that top 5.
Tedeschi's in trouble, but right now he's got Track Bar in front of him. Well, Track Bar, they say they're best friends and drinking buddies. Will he pull that 22 with him? Because Mordog's are coming there 2 by 2. It's a drag race down the backstretch.
Yeah, as my camera is trying to cycle through and what it wants to do. Yeah, it's drag race down the backstretch. Yeah, Track Bar actually stayed with that 22 down the backstretch, all the way down the backstretch. Almost drug him by. Mordog in a 5, but Mordog in a 5 should be able to complete the pass this time by. Mordog all the way back up to P2.
Mordog up to P2. He's pulling Tedeschi in that 22. Oh, and Mordog cuts the nose off of Sterlo down the front stretch.
Yeah, Sterlo was able to hold it together pretty well, but that could have been a bad situation there. Running us up top 5 position, gets shoved down into the grass. Able to hold it together. Zane, battle for the race lead here because the 5 of Mordog's falling below that 37 at Track Bar. Down into turn 3.
But he's being, look at Tedeschi though. Tedeschi doesn't know where he wants to go. Does he want to save Track Bar? Does he want to go with Mordog? Track Bar is going to drop to second. Mordog is your race leader. But take a look behind that 22. He was your race pick. It's Jose 720 and that silver 24 Chevrolet moving up to the bumper of the 5 car. It's a 2-car 2x2 shootout.
Yeah, actually, both our race picks are doing pretty good. They're actually side by side currently because you picked the 22 of Badeshi as your race winner, your go-to guy. That 24 is my dark horse pick. He's showing why, running aside the top 5, side by side down the backstretch.
Side by side as we go into turn 3. The 37 has cleared the 5 car. Move Mordog to second. Track Bar to first. But Tedeschi in no man land. He's hoping that Track Bar comes back up and picks him up. But it's not going to happen as he's going to be left high and low. He throws it down in front of the Bolt to put himself in 4th place.
And the Bolt starting to make his presence known, making his way inside the top 5 as the 5 of Mordog was looking low there yet again into turn 1. Checked out of it. He's going to ride behind Track Bar. Now, I ask you, Zane and Red, you saw that 22 push that 37 by Mordog and kind of left him out to hang. Are you going to remember that for later on the race?
Absolutely. Absolutely, HD.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely good to know who your friends are. And speaking of which, I got a comment on Diego's right. My man has got a piece. He got into it with Chrome Capone a little bit, slid back to the 26th spot. He is now back up to 12th.
All right, so
wow.
That's, keep your eye out there for that 43 of Diego. He actually missed quite a bit of races as that 5 of Mordog drove it down into turn 1, almost got into the Track Bar's quarter panel. And one thing, yeah, Track Bar's kind of leaving that door open for Mordog.
He is leaving the door open. He's trying to get that momentum you talked about earlier. He slings the car out high on exit, trying to pull as much speed as he can. It's leaving that bottom lane open. And right now, this is like a restrictor plate race. You got to watch where that traffic's moving, where those lanes are getting the momentum, because before you know it, you're going to be stuck on the outside like Tedeschi was. But Mordog staying in the draft of Track Bar as we go down the front stretch into turn 1. That inside line of Jose 720 pulling the 22 of Tedeschi can't quite get there. They're going to single file back out as we come off the 2 down the backstretch.
Yeah, it's starting to look like a 6-car breakaway. Let's look behind Track Bar here. Yes, they're going to get wadded up here just a bit coming down to turn 3.
I saw that. I couldn't tell who got squeezed. It looks like it was the 24 of Jose and the 18 of the Bolt. Got into each other's door and then out to the outside wall right now. So now we have a 2-car, 3-car gap between second place and third place. But right now, it's almost like we're watching some tandem racing. The 5 is pushing the 37. The 22 is pushing the 40 of Sterlo. Maybe as an apology to say, hey, man, my bad. Didn't mean to cut your nose off. Let me help you get up to that 5's bumper.
Yeah, and I like what they're doing. I like what Mordog's doing. He's kind of just cruising. He's kind of just riding behind that 37 at track bar. You know, we say it every week with track bar, you know, ride behind him. Maybe you can find where his weakness is at the track. And I think his weakness is you see that long, gaping turn into 3 and 4. One of these times,
that
slow
5 arc in.
Yeah, that 5's going to take advantage of that one of these times by.
And he's tried to a few times. We've watched him kind of just throw the car in there. We say hashtag sent it. And he's trying it. He just doesn't have the help to stay that momentum. Now, Mordog on the inside all by himself with the 40 of Sterlo coming with the head of steam with the 22 of Tedeschi behind him. Right now, Tedeschi just looks like he's a free agent, working with anybody and everybody's going to help him get to the lead. When these laps start to wind down and that door opens, is he going to go back with the 37 or is he going to stay with the friends he's made through this race?
Honestly, I think these guys might be content riding nose to tail because you look behind them. That's the 18 of Bolt back there. They're starting to pull a little bit on that second pack. Bolt is currently by himself trying to find some draft help, but they're all side by side about 4 rows deep in that second pack.
And I've been watching the Bolt these past few laps. He goes to the high line. He slows that high line down. He drops back to the inside, slows the momentum of the inside. He is bouncing, looking for help, but he is actually slowing guys up just to stay in this 5th position to try to run down the 22. 22 looking down low as we come down the backstretch. He thinks better of it, gets back single file as we dive into turn 3. And you're right, look at track bar. Slow drive into the corner of 3. Leaves that door open, but no one's got the momentum to catch him as we come off 4.
I don't think Badeschi's liking the way his car is driving. I don't think he was looking low coming out of turn 2. I think he just got wicked loose off of turn 2. And seeing him driving to turn 3 right there, he got so tight. He wore so far up the track. As here's the 40 of Sterlo kind of checking out of it. He's like, hey, buddy, why don't you go on and buy? Maybe we're actually seeing a little bit of fuel strategy game develop.
Maybe
you are. Oh, I was just going to break in and say you are opened up to the pit window at this point. Everybody should be around 30% tires with 2 to 3 laps left.
And I think Mordog's coming this time. It looked like he singled. He went down below the backstretch. Yup, here he comes. Here comes the 40. And here comes a bunch of cars down on a pit road. They are
42, 66. Woo! Don't tell me that 66 didn't speed. Don't tell me. I will pull up my speed gun right now.
Well, I think the highway patrol got him coming at about 110 miles an hour into that pit road. I'd be shocked if he didn't speed.
And that's going to leave Tedeschi all by himself, but it looks like he's signaling now off the backstretch. So is the Bolt. The entire bottom line just gave the signal. We're going down. That signal is dropping below the apron there on the backstretch to say, hey, I'm coming in this time so no one runs you over. I'm watching right now as that 22 pulls off the track, off of 4, woes that car up and gets it in. Oh, the Bolt into his bumper a little bit.
Oh,
the 6 car spins.
Yeah, that's the 6 car. Tom. You don't want to see that. The man's been running good all year long. Pit road troubles out of that 6 team.
The pain. I talked about it before the race. That's really going to make or break you in this race is how you get on and off pit road. There are high speeds in these corners, and it's a lot harder to slow down sometimes when you think you got it and you got a pack of cars in front of you.
I will report from pit road, you do have a little bit of damage on 32. He got in really hot. I believe the 22 of Badeschi just got the pit road glitch, so I'll be interested to see if he got any damage off of that.
Yeah, coming off of pit road, looks like the 17 of Fluffy Stenhouse Jr., your last week's winner at Kentucky Speedway, is actually going to beat the 18 of Bolt off. There's that 22 Badeschi right behind the 18. Doesn't look like he has too much damage on the 22 car, but everybody who pitted first squeaking by this pack that just came off.
Yep, and I'm looking at track bar right now. I assume he's our race leader. He's leading Mordog and the rest of the pack by almost a turn, half a turn here. And he's got a little bit of damage on that front end of that 37 machine. I don't know if it's just game system or if it's actual damage right now. We'll have to wait to see if that affects him. But he is pulling away from the top 4.
Yeah, let's get a look at that 37 at track bar here in just a minute. Up here he is. Yeah, he's got about a 10 car length lead, but I don't think it's going to last long, Zane. I think these guys are going to get hooked up. Dohar's actually running in his pack, it looks like, with the 5 of Mordog.
Yep. The 88 looking pretty with that white and red Lumina. That's what it is, right? Lumina? Is it Loomis? Daniel? I don't know. It looks pretty with that scheme tonight. So he is working right now with Moordog in the 5 car, and I think that's also Sterlo in the 40 right there. So we got 3 Chevys nose to tail trying to catch this 37.
Yeah, really, where did Dohar come from? He wasn't even inside the top 10, or at least to my knowledge, before that pit stop. So he must have had a heck of a pit stop down there. A little bit of Kyle Busch's pit crew, able to make up a ton of positions under the green flag pit stop at Michigan, brought to you by Filter Time.
And I really got to wonder, though, Track Bar is going to start running up some lap traffic. Is he going to sit in line, use that for a little bit of slingshot? Because you're right, HD, from earlier, that gap is starting to close. It looks like it's about an 8-car gap at this point. That back 3 are moving. They're trucking along, trying to catch this 37. And then if you look a little bit further behind the 40 of Sterlo, you got Tedeschi leading that second pack with about 4 cars with him. Looks like the Bolt. I'm trying to see here. The Bolt... Let's see, the 17 of Fluffy Stenhouse, and then the 42 of Chrome Capone in this second pack.
Yeah, Chrome Capone's kind of lagging off just a bit. He's about 3 car lengths behind, but shouldn't have any issue at all with the draft here at Michigan as he closes that gap with ease down into turn 3. Going to wash up the track there just a bit. So Chrome Capone fighting a little bit of tight condition on his car.
Looks like it. I'm watching him right now. Went back, though, to Track Bar leader. That man is on cruise control right now, HD, as he's just driving away, watching these guys race single file in his rearview mirror. But Dohar looks like he's getting a little tight off it, too. He's going to pop out of line here. That's going to slow that second group up as they try to run down this leader.
Maybe that's just Dohar saying, hey, bud, how about you let me lead this pack? I got a rocket ship for a car. And he's going to file back in line, though. He's going to file right behind the 5 on Moordog. That's definitely going to kill the momentum on catching a 37 at Track Bar, which honestly, Zane, looks about the same.
It definitely. I think it's with Dohar getting out of line that slowed that group up because they were trucking right now. I'm looking at the rear end of Moordog's car, and you almost see it dented. But it looks like Dohar has been beating it off, banging as hard as they can. But take a look behind the 40. Don't hold your breath because the 22, the 18, and I think that's, let's take a look here if I can. The 17, they're now a trucking. You got a Ford, a Toyota, and a Ford running down these 3 Chevys like it's a drag race on a Saturday night.
Yeah, and a 40 car Sterlo is actually going to bypass Dohar in the 88 there, so Sterlo is going to move up behind a 5 of Moordog. We'll call that P3. 88 of Dohar sitting P4, but you're right, that 22 in that group is catching and catching fast.
He's moving with a purpose right now. That Pennzoil machine has got some nitrous oxide or Michael Waltrip jet fuel in it, because look at the gap he is closing right now on Dohar. He's 5, 6 back, and he's getting closer.
Yeah, and actually, there goes that 40 car Sterlo. I think he's having none of it. He's saying, let me buy the 88 of Dohar, looking low here, trying to stay off the quarter paddle of the 5 of Moordog, and that's only going to allow the 22, but actually that group to close that much faster because they are there.
It just became a 6-car race for second. You got Sterlo, Dohar, Moordog, and that group with Brian Tedeschi pulling them along. They are now at the bumper of these Chevys saying, beep, beep, can we come through? We got someone to meet.
Now, let's ask Red on this because Red is the guy. He's the guru when it comes to setups. Red,
Jesus.
How much more fuel do you think Track Bar is possibly using? Because he's all by himself. He's not necessarily checking them much. He's full throttle around in these places. Or do you think this group of cars are using more fuel?
It's always the leader. The leader's always going to be using more fuel. Tracks like this, you're going to see about half a lap. It just really depends on how hard they're running. The ones that are really, benefiting from all of this is whoever's running about the 3rd in the pack, because they can let off a lot. As we may have a caution coming out, just had contact in the 10th position. Hopefully they'll keep it straight, but you are about 5 laps from your next cycle of pit stops.
And it looks like they're still green on the track right now, Red, because Sterlo is leading this second group, but Brian Tedeschi ain't having none of it. He's cleaning these Chevys out as he's getting pushed by the Bolt. Now he's working on the 40 of Sterlo, Will we see Tedeschi go to second, or will he stay here in third behind Sterlo?
Well, now, one thing to keep in mind, that 22 car's got one lap fresher tires than the guys in front of him. And with Track Bar being by himself this whole entire run, not able to save a lick of gas, he might come down 2 laps before Tedeschi in this camp. And as this race goes on, that might matter if we stay green throughout this whole thing.
Definitely, because right now the guy who's in biggest trouble is Track Bar. Track Bar's got no draft help. He can't lift. If he lifts, he's going to get swallowed whole. Because right now, move Brian Tedeschi to second, the Bolt to third, and here comes Mordog to the inside, battling it for fourth.
Yeah, Mordog kind of finds a home there behind that 22 and the 18 who pitted together. There's the 17 of Fluffy Stenhouse Jr. Again, last week's winner at Kentucky Motor Speedway. He's going to run about 5th in this line. I think he's a guy you got to watch out for. He's been behind this pack the entire time. He might have the most gas out of everybody.
Take a look behind Fluffy, though. 2 car links back, just chilling like a villain, or I like to say Bob Dylan on penicillin. It's the 88 of Dohar. He was in the middle of those Chevys. Now he's sitting back behind a wall of draft. I think he might be saving HD.
Yeah, but I think we talk about fuel-wise. I still don't think he's going to have as much as the 17 of Fluffy, because Dohar was up there pushing Mordog for quite a while, trying to catch up to that 37 at Track Bar. I think he realized that he couldn't be caught. Then he changed his game plan up. It's still early in the game where you can do that. I like that call at 88 of Dohar. You know, just like, you know what? Let's play this field game. I'm very good at it. But you're right, Zane. You got to watch out for him.
And let me go to Red real quick. Red, our pit road reporter. So, the man, the myth, the legend on building NASCAR Heat 4 setups right now. As you're watching some of these guys race, what suggestions would you make on pit road for some pit road adjustments?
Probably... That's really hard. It's all about how it feels. I would definitely play with air, though. I'd leave your wedge alone, because wedge here, especially in the draft, it'll make a pretty big difference. But left rear air pressure, that's one of my go-tos.
Raise it or lower it? What would you do?
Just depends on how it feels. I would end up going up on left rear air pressure.
Well,
and Track Bar's down pit road.
Yeah, there goes Track Bar down pit road, and that may be one of those things where he was riding by himself, not able to save anything. Now, it'll be interesting to see if the 22 Tedeschi comes this time by, or if he's able to stretch it one more lap than Track Bar.
Nope, it looks like he's going to signal right now. Mordog's coming with him. Looks like Sterlo's going to come with him as well, and was that Fluffy Stenhouse as well signaling? So that's probably going to leave Dohar all alone and the Bolt. Oh, wait, the Bolt, Dohar already pitted. So it's going to be the Bolt, and who is that behind him in that beautiful Kelly Blue Book Chevrolet?
Oh, and it looks like the 40 of Sterlo goes spinning down into the inside wall. Heavy damage on his car. He is going to drop well outside the top 10 with that huge mistake.
Where is Sterlo? Let's see if I can't get eyes on him here. Did he actually get down pit road? I didn't see him spin.
Oh, yeah. I think it was the 40. It was some yellow car. And I almost think that was the 40 of Sterlo who locked him up coming down behind these guys. If it wasn't him, sorry. Didn't mean to call you out like that, but someone definitely locked him up and hit that inside wall. And here comes Bolt down right now. So Bolt was able to successfully make it 2 more laps than Track Bar.
And the Bolt was sitting in the middle of that draft pack, though, that entire run. So you know he was probably lifting, cruising, rolling through until it was go time. So now the question becomes, as this starts to shake up, who's going to be our race leader at this point, and who's going to have the fuel to run this race to the end? Because it looks like strategy has already come to play early.
Well, I think the only people that strategy kind of affects now is the 18 of Bolt, because, I mean, we're almost halfway through this race if I wouldn't expect. I mean, we got to be at least 30, 40 laps in, right, if we can get a confirmation on that.
Yes, sir. You got 60 to go.
Yeah, 60 to go. So we're 40 laps in. It's almost a little too late to be playing a fuel strategy game in my mind. If you want to try and stretch it to the end, you're kind of dealt your cards already on what you want to do. As there's the 18 of the Bolt coming off pit road right now to 22, but actually he's able to squeak by him. There's that 88 of Dohar right behind that 22. And I think these guys are running 1, 2, 3 with Track Bar out in the race lead.
And you know what's interesting, though, is Track Bar was one of the only cars who had a clean pit road. Everyone else ran into traffic, some issues, bumps and runs. I saw a lot of calamity on pit road. So now we're watching here as Track Bar has stretched that lead out even more than it was that first stop.
Yeah, I mean, he is just on the rails. I didn't think it was going to be possible, honestly, by himself to be able to stretch the lead as much as he has on these guys. I mean, those guys had 4 to 5 cars in that pack, and they were unable to catch them. So I don't know what Track Bar's figured out, but the man's definitely figured something out. We all know him. He's always in there tweaking with something, and he found it in this race in Michigan.
And he's got this little bit of help right in front of him right now. I can't make out the number of that car that's in front of him, but he looks like he may be just getting a sniff of that draft to pull him along. Not enough to catch him, but enough just to keep him out of the throttle a little bit and ahead of these guys. Once Track Bar starts running the lap traffic, he's got a little bit of extra momentum, a little bit of extra save in him with having those cars pull him around.
And even with that said, like, a little bit extra save. Honestly, I thought Badeschi was going to be able to make it one more lap compared to Track Bar. He wasn't able to do it. So really, those two guys are kind of still on their same schedule since they started. The only person that was able to stretch another one was that 18.
Yes, you're absolutely right, and I agree with you on that one right there. But the question, like right now, the question is it the right move? Was it the right move? Because we're watching the Android, the AI Track Bar, just plug himself into his car or his Xbox with a USB controller. He's probably sitting there reading a book or doing some graphics. Who knows? Because he is in a different area code at this moment. He could be watching a Netflix series driving with his feet at this moment.
I don't know what he's doing, but what he's doing is working.
I need that setup. Hey, Track Bar, call me later.
Oh, man. But yeah, he got by that lap car traffic, so now he's got clear track in front of him. No one in sight until all the way down to turn 1. Shouldn't be a problem anytime soon. As we're approaching about halfway through the race here, Track Bar is looking like the clear favorite.
He definitely is looking like the clear favorite. No one else is in his area code. We're starting to see the 22, though, sneak up a little bit, but it might not be enough to run him down before the next cycle of pit stops. Like we talked about at the start of the show, 14 to 16 laps. And Red, what are you seeing down from your perspective from these different drivers through the field? I think Red doesn't want to talk to me no more. Sorry, I wouldn't want to talk to me either.
Yeah, Red might be having kid issues or something. I don't know.
I am back. Sorry about that, fellas.
Oh, there he is.
Well, I was just asking you. Well, maybe I'll come back to you in a little while. Just keep an eye out through the field, man. I want to know what your perspective is, what you're seeing out there in the field. Because right now, Track Bar's in a different area code, but you have eyes all over the track from different drivers' perspectives that are racing. So I'd love to hear what Diego's doing. You said he had a piece right earlier in the race. Where is he sitting at? What's he looking like? What's he battling with? Because right now, nobody can catch this 37. What is that? Is that a Scotch White Viva Kleenex car? It's beautiful looking.
Yeah, it is super spread out throughout the pack. You have little clusters of cars, 2 and 3 here and there, as we do have somebody dive on pit road. But yeah, you have a cluster of cars as we're coming up. You got 52 laps left in the race. Cluster of cars. You got Fluffy in 8th, Go Fast Math 9th, Diego 10th, Jose in 11th, and K Rainey in 12th. The problem is they're not lining up. If they would line up, they could start reeling some of these folks in. But right now you have about a 1.5 to 2 second gap between all of them.
Hey
And
guys,
speaking-
I'd like to interrupt. I'm here. I want you to keep an eye out on. Oh my goodness, there's an accident.
Oh my God! There's a car sideways, Dohar. You better watch out.
Anyway, so one thing to really keep an eye out. I try to give you guys an eye on the strategy. It's not me pulling it this week. Watch out for that 3 at J-Mac. He's actually been going 3 to 4 laps longer than us, and I think with the math he can make it on one less pit stop than the rest of us. So we're all kind of guessing right now at this point. But Brian and I are running down to 37.
Well, no, I'm watching you, Dohar, right now. I was just about to say, on your hood cam, watching you and Tedeschi, we saw this same kind of strategy back at Charlotte 1 at the start of the season of the Pro League. You two drafting off each other. How's that car feel in the draft, and how's it with you and that Ford in front of you?
It's honestly pretty okay. That first run I had to short pit a lap on everybody, so I kind of lost my advantage. Burning up a lot of left front tire trying to get this thing to cut through the turn, so I had to fix a couple things. But luckily, I got into pit road clean while everybody's kind of been in a cluster, so it's been making it a little easier for us to make up the track position. We got on the same pitting lap as the 37 there last time, so we gained our lap back that we really needed that we had lost. But right now, it's turning pretty good. I think Brian's running a little bit of a tight car, but we're still reeling in the 37.
We can see that happening. Good luck to you, Dohar. Remember 10 and 2, don't drive angry. And at HD, they are starting to slowly reel that 37 in like he's a great white shark on a fishing expedition in the Gulf of Mexico. But is it enough before the next round of pit stops?
If they really want to reel them in, they got to hit their pit stop to a T, because I think that's really where Track Bar has been killing the rest of the field, is on his pit stop entry. He's been able to separate himself by 10 to 15 car lengths, and that's possibly because he is by himself. So I think these guys work together. One takes the inside, one takes the outside. I think they can close it down just a bit, but look right behind these guys. There's the 18 of the Bolt with the 5 of Mordog.
Taking a look, yep, and they're about the same distance between this first group with Tedeschi and Dohar, but Dohar did do a little tank slapper there going into the corner, off the corner. But they're about the same distance apart with the Toyota of the 18 and the 5 of Mordog trying to run these two down. But it looks like Dohar is going to sneak to the inside of the 22. He's going to make it 2x2 for second as we go into turn 3.
Yeah, and Pedeschi's actually shown a little bit of damage on my end on his front end. No clue if that's just a visual effect for us or that's actually was something he is dealing with. So this might be a smart move between the 22 and the 88 as they currently race side by side down the front stretch. That is easily going to allow the 18 of the Bolt and that 5 of Mordog to catch these guys. Now the Bolt has 1 lap fresher tires than everybody, well, 2 lap fresher tires than the 88 and the 37.
Yes, and you said it. Those two started racing. They got a little dicey side by side on the front stretch. That was able to close the gap. Maybe it was a little bit of strategy on these two to get a 4-car train going instead of a 2-car train to try to run down this 37.
You know, it could be. We'll can see it in a minute with the 18 of the Bolt, but I think if I'm the Bolt, I'm actually going to try and pass the 88.
Track Bar's on pit road.
Yep, there's Track Bar going on pit road right now. If I'm the Bolt, I want to pass these guys. I know I have fresher tires. I know I am faster than them. You do not want to lose time following behind.
Don't want to lose time, but right now it looks like Dohar is doing a little bit of a wide bumper berth, trying to keep that 18 in line behind him. But Dohar, Tedeschi going to signal that they're coming down this time by. Mordog and the 18 are going to stay out.
As they go to the outside, so 18 to the outside, the 88. That's going to slow his lap time down. There's the 5 of Mordog to the outside as well. Let's see this pit entry, Zane. This is where the money is going to be made as the 88 and 22 gets slowed down. Looked like to me that's an awesome pit stop.
Awesome pit stop, but the hard part right now is they're putting the faith in their guys who come up over the wall, make sure there is no damage, no bumps, and they get 4 tires and a full tank of gas into that car without any issues.
Yeah, let's actually look at this 3-car in the J-Mac. That was very interesting right there, that Dohar part of. This guy has been running 3 to 4 more laps than everybody else out there on the field. And to my calculations, there's going to be at least 4 more pit stops, at least 4 green flag pit stops, and he will cut out an entire green flag pit stop run. The only question
Don't interrupt you. The 18 and the 5 coming down pit road right now, HD.
All right, so they went 1 more lap again compared to everybody else, so they got 2 lap fresher tires to the 37 Track Bar, only 1 lap fresher to the 88 and a 22. And here is Track Bar out on track right now. Dohar and that 22, but they actually got a closer gap this time than they did last time.
But they got to get these cars up to speed. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Red. Go ahead.
I was just going to say what I seen coming on pit road was the number 6. I believe that's Tom Tom. He actually spun out going into the pit, so expect a speeding penalty on him. And everyone else got in super smooth. And if I was playing strategy right, I believe a lot of these guys that just came in can make it on 2 more stops because you have about 46 laps left in the race. So if you can stretch 15 laps each run, you're looking at about 2 more stops.
And that's the second time we've seen Tom Tom lock them up going on the pit road. But what I was watching on that outlap for the 88 and the 22 guys is Brian drove down way below the yellow line on the backstretch to let Dohar get in front of him. It caused a huge gap between the leader of Track Bar and the 88 car. Now they're starting to run down the 18 of the Bolt.
Yeah, I mean, without a caution, I don't think anybody's catching track bar at this point. If he's able to make it on gas, I mean, with that little hiccup between those two guys, 18 and Bolt out in front. Again, he's got 1 lap fresher tires in the 88 and the 22, 2 lap freshers in the 37. But I just don't think they're gonna be able to catch the track bar.
They're not. So 2 things that got to happen: lap traffic's got to get in his way, or a caution comes out, and that's going to change the entire face of this race. Because these 3, a Toyota, a Chevy, and a Ford, are working together trying to close the gap. But look behind him, a lonely Moordog in that 5 Napa Know-How Chevrolet, all by himself, watching these 3 start to drive away from him.
Yeah, and he's kind of in no man's land right now because he's not gonna be able to catch the 3 in front of him. And the guys behind him are still a little bit ways back, so he's going to drop about 10 seconds away from your current race leader, Track Bar. So Moordog praying for a caution to come out right now.
He's hoping and he's praying.
I can tell you with 43 laps to go, and I'm still keeping a real good eye on this pit stop situation. I believe Track Bar is going to be about 4 laps short because he has short pitted several times, which could be the reason why he's getting such a jump. And he's extended his lead this far. But I'll be really, really surprised if Track Bar can make it to the end off 2 stops.
Well, he may be lifting and he may be saving because that gap just went from 8 cars to about 4 cars in about a corner and a half.
Yeah, I think he realizes that himself right now because I was about to call it myself. That second pack looks awful bigger than what it did last lap by. Track Bar is in save mode. He's trying to save, but he just can't do it by himself. Yeah, he can check up, but I think if he really wants to save, he's going to have let the 18 and all these guys by him if he wants to save those 4 laps.
He has to, but the problem is you give that track position up. What happens if a caution comes out or you get caught up in someone's mess? Are you going to yell at your crew chief, your spotter? Are you going to just beat up yourself? But right now, that gap is 4 car lengths to 3 car lengths, and that 18 of the Bolt is starting to run that 37 down, getting bigger and bigger and bigger, almost like Violet from Willy Wonka after eating a thing she shouldn't have ate. I forget what kind of candy, but it was delicious.
You know, Zane, you brought up an interesting fact there. You brought up the caution fact. Should you let him by? You know, you're giving up track position if a caution comes out. Well, there's only been 1 caution this entire race, and everybody is so far spread out. We probably won't see another one until that checkered flag comes out. And here comes the 18 of Bolt right now with a huge run down into turn 1. And I think Track Bar realizes this. I think he's going to fall behind that 22 Medeshi, and he's going to try and save as much as he can.
He's not going to fight him. He's just going to let him go. He may be playing possum at this moment, just saying, you know what, pull me along, guys. Pull me along. And he's going to see if Tedeschi will get in line and push him to keep up with these leaders, because now you move the 18 to the lead. Dohart to second, and your dominant leader of the 37 Track Bar into third.
And honestly, I think this is the right move that the 37 can do. I think sitting right here, he's got his pal, he's got his buddy from Charlotte down there, you know, singing karaoke, Yuda, you know, coming down to turn 1. I think Tedeschi's going to ride it out. I think he's possibly trying to save at least 1 to 2 more laps, while the 18 Bolt, again, he's got 2 more laps fresher. Oh, my God, he washed up really high there coming out of backstretch as the 88 of Dohar is looking to the outside down into turn 3.
And Dohar's got the help with the 37 and the 22 on the outside with him, but he's going to wash up real high in turn 3. He's going to get back in line, move him to second. He's going to try the crossover off 3, off 4. They're side to side, door to door. Track Bar's going to go high. Move Dohar to first, Bolt to second.
Yeah, Dohar with the hell of a crossover move there coming out of turn 4 and out on front stretch. I thought the Bolt was going to be able to hang on to the baby, but nope, he thought better of it. Dohar with the slide job out of turn 4 out on front stretch yet again. Dohar to the race lead.
Dohar to the race lead with the Toyota of Bolt behind him, and then that the 37 of Track Bar in third with Tedeschi and that Ford Pennzoil Power in fourth. But the Bolt's going to use the bottom lane. He's going to slide up in front of Dohar. Move the Bolt. Can Dohar pull a crossover again off 4? He can't. It's single file back out. The 18, the 88, the 37, and the 22.
As they come down into turn 1, maybe Dohar's trying to save maybe 1 more lap. He didn't dive it down into there. as the 18 of Bolt regains the race lead, coming out of turn 2, down the backstretch. 22 Badeschi is still sitting there, but Zane, look back there. That 5 of Mordog is actually catching these guys by himself.
He's definitely catching these guys by themselves, probably because these guys are doing the same thing Track Bar was doing. Lifting a little earlier, riding in line, saving that fuel. They might get a little dicey, a little racy a little bit, but these guys are probably saving as much fuel as they can late in this race.
And with Dohar, I'm going to go back to J-Mac. If Dohar said is correct, J-Mac's been doing this the entire race. He should be good to make it to the end.
But he's got to get up front. He's got to get up with these guys. Because here's the thing. These guys have such a commanding lead as they space out coming off a 2, 3 wide. And here comes the 5 of Mordog to make it a 5-car battle for the lead.
I hate that camera in turn 2. Like, it just, like, stays there.
It just stays there forever?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go to helicopter view, man. Helicopter view. It stays with the action.
It pauses there forever. You're calling the action. It was like, good God, like, you're going to shift or what? Good Lord almighty. But yeah, the 5 of Mordog to the race lead here. Came out of nowhere, caught these guys. I don't think he's playing a fuel strategy game. This man is pedal to the metal.
He's driving like a man possessed. He had to make up so much ground to catch these leaders and now move the 5 to the lead, the 88 in second, the 18 in third, the 37 in fourth, and the 22 is going to round out our top 5 as they drive down the backstretch, battling into turn 3.
Yeah, and we should be seeing green flag pit stops here shortly as the laps are winding down at Michigan. We're well over halfway into this race, probably around the 65 to 70 lap margin.
Red, what you got on lap cap, my man?
We are lap 66 out of 100.
I am too damn good.
Man, do you have someone with like a clicker every time they cross the line? You just click, click, click?
I've been doing this for 2 years, man.
Man, I just watch the action. I don't even look at the line. I just look for cars, and hopefully someone tells me a lap count.
You get used to it once you start calling these races for a while with no lap counter.
With no lap counter? You just sense a feel?
No, you get a sense of feel after a while.
And take a look. Track Bar's moved back to 5th. Tedeschi to 3rd. The Bolt to 4th. And here comes Dohar on the outside. He door slams Mordog. They bump. Dohar in the outside wall. Can he save it to stay with this lead? But take a look behind Track Bar, because here comes a hungry Fluffy Stenhouse Jr. in the 17, bringing some help with him.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere, and this group contains that 32 of Go Fast Matt Militia out there. Looks like the 34 of Stout Whiskey, and Cameron. That might be that 8 of Big John here, now running inside the top 8, as we got an 8-car battle now for the race lead.
We're 60-plus laps in, and it's like the race just started all over again.
Oh, the 34 Stout Whiskey is spinning around down the front stretch. He got clobbered from behind. Oh, and the big one as he's going to collect a 9. Caution maybe out.
They're still green right now. I'm waiting to hear the engines lift. No engines are lifting. They're still full matted to the floor. I don't see a caution coming, HD.
Well, while these guys are still racing, a helicopter is there on the infield trying to pick Stout Whiskey's arm up out of the fence. Good Lord almighty. But the race lead is on with the 5 of Mordog out here still leading it.
Did he unlock a NASCAR Heat 4 Easter egg, the ambulance? The 37, the 88, and the 32 on pit road.
Yeah, and they all get down there with ease. And good Lord, that 32 made up a ton of ground. So did the 8 of Big John, to be able to stay on the pit strategy with the 37 and that 88.
I got my eyes right now on the 5, the 22, and the 18. They're still out on track right now. There goes the 5. He's giving the signal. I'm coming down. It looks like the 22 and the 18 may stay out this time by. I did not see them give the dip and nod.
Yes, they come through turns 3 and 4. It looks like that 22 is going to be coming down. The 5 is going to be coming down. The 18 is going to go for at least one more lap compared to these guys. And if he's only got to stretch it 4 more laps compared to last time, I think the 18 may be your race winner.
Well, here comes the 37, the 88, and the 32 off pit road this time. So that means that the 18 has got to push it. He's got to get that delta. He's got to drive as hard as he can on this in lap and as hard as he can on that out lap to stay in front or stay with these guys to have some speed. He will have the fresher tires, But what we've seen is anything can happen off of 3 and 4. The draft is dominant. It gives you that slingshot run you need. So only time's going to tell if it's enough. I haven't seen him give the nod yet. And here comes the 18 now on the pit road. He's locking him up. Slow drive down. Ooh, and now all eyes on the 18 as he drives down pit road, HD.
It's something to note here. The first time this race, look at track bar. The man has a ton of competition around him after that green flag pit stop. You know, before when he was pitting by himself, he was able to stretch that thing by miles. Pitting with people, he is with a group of cars. There's the 5 and more dog coming off of pit road. He's going to slide up just in front of track bar down the backstretch into turn 3 with the 32.
Yep.
A go fast, Matt. Once this thing cycles through, he should be a race leader.
He should be a race leader, but he's got a hungry Chevy, another 3 Chevys behind him, and a Ford of Fluffy Stenhouse Jr. in the 17, the 22 of Tedeschi, and the 8 car of Big John just waiting to pounce.
Yeah, and here comes the 18 of the Bolt. He's coming off of pit road right now. If he can stay with this lead group's draft, that will be a huge win for him. Here he is coming off of turn 2, trying to get that baby up to speed. He should stay with him.
He's got to pedal. He's got to pedal for all it's worth. If he can suck up behind Big John, he'll stay with him here as they come through 3.
Oh, he is there, and he is there by a mile, so he should be able to pedal back here, especially being about the 8th and 9th car back in line, possibly save at least one more lap of fuel. I'm liking the 18's odds.
The 18's looking strong, and that's your pick. That was your pick for the win. So I kind of don't want him to win right now because then I got some good luck right now. I got Matt and Mordog and Tedeschi in the top 5. I got a great chance to just pull a great weekend. But stay there, Bolt. Don't move any further.
Well, you know, one thing is true. If he does win, it's going to break the curse of birthday wins here in the eSpark series because his birthday's already been passed. He already won on his birthday. You know, that's
and
been a
Matt's
whole
giving
year.
the high line.
Yeah, Matt's
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
yeah.
Go ahead. This is a straight strategy call right here at that 32 camp. He's saying, you know what, I ain't going to save no fuel up here in the race lead. He's going to drop all the way back to the back. Maybe he's got a fuel-saving gear in that car. Here he is dropping behind the Bolt.
And he dropped back really far. I thought he was going to get in line between the 22 and the 37. It looked like the 37 gave him enough room to drop that Ford down low. But he decided, nope, I'm going to come back here with the 18. Maybe the 18 and the 32 are working on a little bit of strategy to get back up front late in this race.
Yeah, and your race leader right now is going to be the 5 of Mordog. It'll be interesting to see how much longer he decides to be up here in the race lead before he possibly drops towards the back. I think this is more of a mind game going on right now, Zane, than it is a speed game.
Chess at 220 miles an hour at Michigan right now. Everyone trying to outsmart the other one on fuel mileage and strategy alone.
Yeah, and I want to point something out, man. Track Bar is usually a go, 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 go person. Look at him. He's just kind of sitting. He's cruising.
Yeah. So you guys want to hear a funny story? Or we're watching this race breakdown?
Yes, I do.
So I had a conversation with Red's wife the other day, and she said, "You know what my husband got me as a gift?" And I was like, "What was that?" She's like, "Filters." And I was like, "What, filters?" She's like, "Yeah, these filter time people showed up with filters for the house." I was like, "That's the greatest gift in the world. That makes your house smell better. The air is good for you. You need to give him a kiss and tell him that you love him because he's doing something for your health."
Red?
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Did she give you a kiss? Like, I'm wondering, man. I told her she needed to thank you for it.
Yeah, definitely.
We got another kid on the way. Is that what happened? I knew it. Damn it. Filter time. It makes your house good and it brings babies.
Well, there you go, guys.
Thank you for number 4.
Oh, that should be the piece.
I almost did a spit take in the booth here with that one.
Hashtag number 4 on the way. But back to the race here, guys. You know, still your race leader is the 5 of Mordog. He's still hanging on to the bad boy up here. He hasn't decided to pull out of line just yet. Drop to the back. 88 of Dohar there, sitting P2. 17 of Fluffy Stenhouse Jr. sitting P3. Your last week's winner, that is at Kentucky. Sitting P4 is going to be the 22 of Badeshi. P5 is 37 of Track Bar. 18 of the Bolt is going to be P6. 32 of Go Fast Matt's going to be P7. And P8 is going to be Big John.
And you know what? I'm going to keep my eyes on this 17 car for the rest of the race. Anybody who can pull a last lap pass for a win, it's the 17. We've seen him do it in the eNASCAR Heat Pro League. He knows what he needs to do, but it looks like he's getting tight, though, coming off a 2, because he's going to open the door for the 22 as we come down the backstretch.
That's not the worst that can happen here. He could possibly slide down right here if he wants to. Look, he's actually thinking better of it. I think he maybe wants to go up. There he is actually diving down into turn 3. You know, he had a huge gap. Maybe Track Bar was like, hey, buddy, come on, take this thing.
And Track Bar's been doing that. He's been giving some room to these guys who get pushed up to the high line. I think he wants this 4-car draft in front of him. The Bolt's going to pop out of line now. He's now side by side with the 37 for 5th.
Yeah, and still, and here's the 34 Stout Whiskey. We saw the man spin around on the pit road last time by. I think he is battling to get his lead lap back.
And that 18 right now is got a machine, a beast. He is hauling right now. He is staying in 3rd place, battling Tedeschi side to side with no help. And here comes Big John again, popping on a line, trying to get in the draft. But look at the Bolt. He has figured something out in the corners. He's now moved up to 2nd. He's door-to-door with Dohar. Mordog's going to move up. They're 3 wide for the lead.
And they're 3 wide down the front stretch into turn 1. Mordog's in the middle. The 88 of Dohar with the power move. Diving it down into turn 1. He's going to sail it off in there as they're battling for 2nd.
He decided to go high, mid, low to slow every lane down as much as he could. Look at him now, all the way back down to the bottom, all the way back up to the top. Let's see what he does in 3.
Yeah, they're 2x2, 2 rows deep as the 18 of Bolt trying to pull a crossover here. There's that 34 of Stout Whiskey. Again, I'm pretty sure he's a lap down. He is battling for his life to get back on the lead lap.
He is fighting and clawing. He's in front of the 18, but they're 3 wide right now for 2nd place as it's the Bolt, the 22, and the 17 watching this 88 start to drive away.
Yeah, 88 starting to drive away. Maybe he's got his fuel. He's good to go to the end. He has calculated on his TI-83. Dohar is a go, go, go.
Was that a calculator reference?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dude, like, it just felt like we went to high school all of a sudden there. I just want to play Cartel. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he
It's
wrote
all right,
in 8008I3 or something like that down on the calculator. He's like, yep, I'm going to go to the end.
You know, if you have 2 of them, if you have 2 calculators, you know what that spells.
I don't know.
I can't say it. We got kids watching. But the 18 trying to power along to catch this 88 as we go down the backstretch here at Michigan. Red, you know what, HD, how many laps we got left? I want to see if HD gets this right before Red says anything.
I'm going to say we're at like 81.
Red?
We have 19 laps to go.
Yeah, I was freaking good at this, man. I played the lottery tonight.
Oh my goodness. If you need lotto numbers, give HD a DM on Twitter. He'll help you out because he is lucky and on it with the numbers. But look at Dohar. He has slipped back as the 18 is now our leader. The 22 in 2nd, the 88 in 3rd.
Yeah, I think the 18 is on a go, go, go as well now because he's starting to stretch the lead. I thought he was trying to catch Dohar. I kind of lost myself through all that TI joke and guessing the laps. I didn't realize Dohar dropped back to 3rd place. But yeah.
It's a lot of action on the track right now, and I think this is where we're going to see people stop pedaling and start pushing, because right now here comes Track Bar. He's not slowing down. He's up to 3rd. He's to the inside of the 22. Door-to-door, 2x2 off of turn 2 for 2nd place.
Yeah, Track Bar is going to make a slide job right there. Maybe he's starting to think he's good to make it to the end. He's going to try and catch down the 18 of Bolts at 34 of Stout Whiskey in the wall back there, down the backstretch, able to hold it together. But these guys are full charge here with laps winding down at Michigan.
Got the 18, the 37, the 22, the 8, and the 5 is our top 5. Behind the 5 car is that 32 of Go Fast Matt. You know the Matthew Militia is getting wild in chat as they can feel a wind coming on. But Track Bar is now going to battle for the lead to the inside of turn 1. It's 2x2. Move the Bolt to 2nd. Track Bar to 1st as we come down the backstretch.
Yeah, we said the man was saving. He was saving. He was saving. Now here he is to the race lead.
And I couldn't tell. It looked like Dohar dipped low. I don't know if he's given the signal or if he just gave room.
I don't know, but he washed up the track there just a bit in turns 3 and 4. Nope, he is coming out
Nope,
pit
he's
road.
coming.
Yeah, and here's the 32 at Go Fast Matt down as well. This should be about, what, about 17, 16 laps to go. I don't think they're going to be able to make it to the end.
Well, Dohar's been able to stretch it before. We know what he can do. If he's sitting in that draft, he might have figured something out, knowing he's just got to be a little patient, and he can make it the rest of the way, as this 3 right here of the 18, the 37, and the 22 race it. 22 is going to dive down low. The 5 is going to dive down low. They're going to give the signal. We're coming down pit road this time as Track Bar and the 18 battle it off in turn 3.
Yeah, and I think the 18 is going to go one more lap, so the 18 definitely should be able to make it under green, full charge, if this thing stays green. I think the one big question we all should have is if that 3-car J-Mac can make it without pitting one more time.
Well, the 37, the 22, and the 5 are on pit road. The 18 is all alone. Was it the Cheese stands alone? The Cheese stands alone? Because the 18 is now leading this race, and he may stretch it 1 more, 2 more laps like we've seen.
Should have 13 laps left to go.
So 13 laps left to go. So the 18 is definitely good to make it under green. You know, full throttle with no saving at all. We start to question, does the 37 possibly got to save about half a lap?
18 on pit road.
Yep, 18 is coming down this time by. So I think overall, this was a great strategy call throughout the whole race from the 18, because last time, Zane, he was able to stay with the lead pack when he came off.
Yep, and it looks like the 5, the 22, and the 37 are off pit road. But here comes the Matthew Militia pulling the 88 and the 17 through turn 2. Will they run them down? They are, but they got a lap car in front of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars here coming down the backstretch in the turn 3. Everybody is jockeying for position. That 5-car Mordog's going to move up to P2. 32 at Go Fast Matt sitting P3. 22 Badeshi P4. 88 of Dohar is going to round out your top 5 once this thing cycles through.
And Mike DB in the 66 is going to get out of the way and let these leaders race it out. He's going to fall back in line and watch this battle pursue in front of him as Track Bar is now trying to stretch his legs from the 5-car as Matt is on the outside of the 22 as we come off of turn 2 down the backstretch, and the Bolt is finally off pit road, HD.
Yeah, you know, very interesting right here. This lap down car, that 20 car leaves Justin, I think, kind of cut Track Bar off there coming out of turn 2, which killed his momentum. That allowed the Bolt to almost exit out in front of Track Bar. Bolt finds himself sitting P4. I'm liking his chances, Zane.
You got the 37, the 5, the 22, the 18, the 88, and the 32. That is going to be our top 6. These guys are almost nose to tail. Track Bar's got a whole lot of bumper and mirror of the 5 Napa Know-How Chevrolet trying to run him down off of turn 2. The 22 of Tedeschi's trying to catch the 5 with the help of the 18 on his back bumper as we dive into turn 3.
Yeah, I mean, we know the Bolt's good to make it to the end. Is everybody else is still the question as laps are winding down, getting to about 10 laps to go here at Michigan. Again, this eSpark series is brought to you by Filter Time.
Often duplicated, never recreated, but often imitated. It's the best racing you can get on a Sunday night. It's the eSpark series on Sundays. They are showing what they do best with 30-plus cars at Michigan, and we have a 6-car battle for the lead as Mordog has pulled the 22, the 18, the 88, and I think that was, I'm stuck here, the 32 up to the lead. You know that turn 2 Cameron likes to sit there and just be lackadaisical. As they're 2 wide behind Track Bar, move the 22 to second, and the 5-car all in no man's land as he's dropping back like a rock in the Lakahatchee, HD.
Yeah, he's going to drop to the back of this line behind that 32 at Go Fast Matt. Move that 22 like you just said. Oh, Badeshi up to P2. 18 of Bolt's going to move up to P3. 88 of Dohar, P4. Battle for 5th on right now, and that's going to round out 32 at Go Fast Matt, round out your top 5.
Come on, 22 of Tedeschi. You're my pick. I got the 32 with you. One of you guys need to get around this 37, but the 18 of the Bolt saw the door. He's taking it. He's got help with the 88. Is Dohar going to stay with him? Dohar staying with the 18 as we come through 3 and 4. Off of 4 down the front stretch, they're side by side with the 22 and the 18, with Track Bar looking at this battle in his rearview mirror, but he left the door open for the 18, HG.
Remember, Bolt's got 2 lap fresher tires than everybody else out here that he's battling with. as Bolt dives it down in a turn 1. Track bar with a little block there.
Lap down car right there, giving them the room, letting them race it out. Good driving. I know you had to drive through the grass, but thank you for giving them that room as these guys are racing their tails off. The 18 goes low. Track bar goes to block him. Track bar up high. The 18 low again. He's going to look down in the inside. Track bar is going to close the door. Tedeschi's going to try to ride around, but he's stuck side to side with Dohar behind the 18. It's a 2-car battle for 3.
Yeah, Bolt's looking the outside. Oh, and a huge wreck coming out of turn 4 to 5 of Wardog down through the grass. Able to hold it together. Nope, he slid up in front of the track.
No,
this might bring out a caution.
That is a caution. There it is. That just changed the entire race, HD.
That's kind of a bummer, man.
Wait,
I think the 18 of Bolt was going to get that done.
I'm being handed a note real quick. Hold on. Let me open this. It says, to Mordog from Dohar. That was for HD. Sincerely yours, the tactician. So I think it was a little revenge. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. It was completely a racing incident, but...
Yeah, maybe Mordog's controller died. I don't know.
Maybe his controller died. If he's on a controller, we're going to have a long conversation because we say this every week. If you go to a controller, I'm going to beat you up because you're great on a wheel. Stay on that wheel. Uh-oh. I think we got a problem. I think the 37 just blew a virtual motor because I see him on pit road, HD.
What a tough break. Yep, he is on pit road. What a bummer that is. Let me get towards the front. Good Lord. Can we get a lap count?
The 18, the 32, the 22, the 88, and the 17 will be your top 5 with Mordog in the 5 car still here in the top 10 as they go green at Michigan.
Yeah, the 18 of Bolt, your current race leader. 32 a Go Fast man on the outside.
Oh, big wreck in the back. I saw someone go straight to the outside retaining wall. It looks like they're still green though, HD.
Yeah, we're still green. We're green 2 by 2 by 2, and a 22 of Badeshi making a move down a backstretch. 3 wide with the 32 of Go Fast man. 88 of Dohar diving it down into turn 3.
Dohar's going to dive it down into turn 3. Matt's going to stay with his outside, but don't blink. Don't miss it, because there's the 3 car. You heard Dohar talk about him. He said, watch out for J-Mac. J-Mac's been pulling the strategy. Look at him here now racing for the lead as these laps start to wind down. What do we got? 3 to go, Red?
I believe you're at 3 to go, yes.
Oh, I'm getting good like you, HD.
Practice makes perfect with 3 to go at Michigan. Brought to you by Filter Time. That 88 of JRM Dohar is your race leader with the 32 of Go Fast Matt sitting P2.
That Chevy needs some help because right now it's a 4 team up on the outside, the 32 and the 22. The 5 car on the inside behind Dohar. They're battling side by side for second place between the 5 and the 32. This is what the 88 wants to see. Keep battling it out, but Tedeschi's not quitting. He's beating the bumper off the 32 car as we go into 1, but Mordog's trying to push it down low. He can't get it to stick as we come off of turn 2, HD.
Yeah, down a backstretch. Looks like there might be 3 wide here for P2. Dohar is loving this. He's like, yeah, you guys just keep doing that back there. But look, here comes that 6 of Tom Tom out of nowhere battling for a top 5.
And this should be the white flag if I'm not mistaken. And Dohar right now doing everything he can off of turn 4. The flag man's got the white flag in his hand. 1 lap to go at Michigan. Can he hold off a hard-charging Ford and Chevy? They're door beating. They're banging behind him as they go into turn 1. And Dohar's doing everything he can to hold off the 5. The 22 using the high line. He's got the help with the 32. The bottom line's got the help of the 6 car of Tom Tom pushing the 5. Dohar left the door open down the bottom lane. They're door to door off the backstretch going into 3. It's a drag race down the backstretch. J-Mac's going to wreck. He's going to collect the 43. But look at Mordog. Mordog to the inside off of 4.
Caution is out. Race is over. Looks like the 5 of Mordog is your race winner.
Green, white,
Negative.
checkered.
Checkered.
Overtime.
Oh.
Green, white, checkered.
Actually,
And I
should be in
did-
overtime.
I got an update from the man known as Track Bar. He said he heard a loud boom and all of his power went. So he is
blown transformer.
Tornadoes. He's
Yep.
been having
Yeah, I'm in here. Just
Oh.
internet connection. I heard a big
Hey.
boom, and then everybody like.
Tough break, my man. Just sit back, relax, listen to us call the end of this race. You put on a hell of a show. But sucks for you. I really feel for you. You hate to see it for the 37.
Pulling for Sam to win. He's on my setup.
All right, here we are. 5 of Mortal actually lost a ton of positions because that 6 of Tom Tom playing a little bit of strategy, stayed out during that yellow pit stop, excuse me. 2 laps to go, Zane.
I'm trying to catch him here. There we go. Watching the 6 car. If I can, the game does not want to put me on the 6 at all. Tom Tom is just kryptonite for my game right now. There we go. The 6 car with the 17 of Fluffy Stenhouse. It is a repeat of what we saw. Wait a minute. Is that the 43? Did Diego come up out of nowhere? We have a 3. Oh! Big wreck down the backstretch, but they're going to keep it straight as much as they can.
Oh, no, they're not.
Car.
There's a huge wreck in turns 3 and 4.
Look at the calamity, the
Caution
chaos.
should be out.
That's going to cycle them through, rack them up one more time, HD.
I don't think anybody who was inside the top 5 running made it through that. Besides,
I don't think so
Badeshi's kind
either.
of still sitting P3. There's Fluffy sitting P2.
You got the 42 of Chrome Capone sitting there in P5, the 5 of Mordog, the 32 of Go Fast Matt. This has changed completely. Everyone feels they have a shot to win with that 37 out of the race now because they're racing like men possessed.
That's going to be another green-white checkered situation here at Michigan. Again, this race is brought to you by Filter Time. If you guys need some new filters in your home, make sure to check out Filter Time. Can't remember to change your filter? Filter Time's the way ready to go for you, and getting ready to go green here yet again.
Trying to cycle through the field here.
I know, I kind of...
All right, 17-6 again is going to lead them off. Green flag with the 5, the 32, and the 22 will be our top 5.
Yep, green flags back in the air here yet again at Michigan as the 5 of Wardlaw is going to get shoved down in the grass there by the 17 of Fluffy, able to hold it together as they foul through turns 1 and 2.
And Fluffy's pushing that 6, but don't look on the outside because the 42 is beating the bumper off the 32. They're 3 wide for the lead as we come down the backstretch, and Mordog's got the inside line. That's Tom Tom on the outside, and then Fluffy in the middle.
Yeah, Mordog is your race leader, 22 of Adeshi, followed by, looks like the 14 of Catch the Rabbit. White flag this time by at Michigan with the 6 of Tom Tom back there, flipping through there. Caution is out. No clue if they got it. Oh my God, a 6 is still flipping down the front stretch.
Mordog got it.
Mordog got it under caution. Tedeschi's second. What a finish and what some calamity chaos at the end there. Everyone racing like it was the last lap, beating and banging. You thought you were in a UFC match for a second there. And is that the 47? It's going to be the 47 of Sledgehammer pulling a P3 out.
Yeah, that's going to be the 14 to Catch the Rabbit. No, that's...
Is that the 14?
Yeah, it's the 14.
Looks like the 47. That's a Kroger machine. I'm looking at a Kroger machine.
Yeah, 14, man. That's Catch the Rabbit right there, sitting P3.
Wait, I'm looking at the 17 in front of me. You know, I'm wrong. You're right. Let's just not talk about it no more, okay? I made mistakes.
I'm always right.
Hey, you know what? You're good at this, okay? Let's see if we can't get Mordog HD. Dude, what a finish. Chaos. Calamity. And the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who has worse luck with the controller than most pro athletes in 2K or any game you would play. He would punch a screen like Summit 1G. Mordog in that number 5 Napa know-how, burning them down, getting out of the car. How does it feel to be a race winner, buddy?
Well, it feels kind of cool. I wish the ending would have been a little smoother. I would have much rather not had a calamity corner those last couple of restarts. I wish it would have finished out green just between us and see what would have happened naturally. But I'll still take it, though, that's for sure.
So you were strong most of the night. You were making runs. When did you decide to sit back in line and just kind of cruise it out, or were you really just pushing for that lead the entire race?
Well, honestly, I was just trying to sit in line those first couple runs, just trying to like get some laps and everything like that. Then at the end there, as you saw, 30, 40 to go, everyone else started saving fuel, and I had lost the draft completely. And I was like, well, I'm just going to sacrifice saving fuel to get up to this front draft. And after that, it was really cat and mouse games. So that ending there would have been pretty cool between all of us. I think there was a little bit of field strategy involved, but yeah, once you get a green white checkered, it's just pedal to the metal, as you could say.
Oh, yeah. Only really 2 cautions the whole race. And once that green-white checkered came out at the end, that's when we really started seeing the cautions build up. You're talking over 100 laps almost of no cautions. Now, my question, and I think me and HD we had the same question, wheel or controller tonight?
Controller.
Oh
What?
my God!
What?
Get him out of here
What?
now!
Get
him
no,
out!
No, the
him
interview's
out!
over. He doesn't win. Who was second place again? We're kidding. We love you. Congratulations. Mordog, is there anyone you want to thank for this win tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to the Hendrick GC guys and all of my buddies here at eSpark and everything like that.
Take his batteries
appreciate
too.
it.
Take his batteries.
Take his batteries too. Duralast, extra strength.
I'm calling the Hendrick GC guys right now to tell them to take your controllers and lock them up in the top shelf so you can't get them. Because, well, you know what? He did kind of prove us wrong, though. He came out one on a controller. It didn't die halfway through the race like he says it happens to him. So he kind of proved us all wrong, HD. He is a winner tonight in the eSpark series, and that does lock him in to the playoff hunt at the end of the season.
Yeah, honestly, man, it was a hell of a race there. It's all fun and games with the controller thing. Obviously he was out there, one of the fastest cars inside the top 5 all night long. Just wish we could have went to the green there on that last lap. I know he wished he does too. And honestly, I think he still would have got it done.
He definitely could have. And what I want to do real fast is we heard his voice a little bit. I was able to catch up with Track Bar. Track Bar's hanging out. Track Bar, you still with me?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm drinking a Natter Day.
Always on brand. ABA, man. So let me ask you a quick question. If you watched the end of that race, you saw what happened or you heard the calls, what do you think you would have changed differently if the caution didn't come out? Do you think you would have been hurt with the caution coming out? What's going through your mind now that the engine's blowing, you're sitting here watching the end? Are you glad you're watching it, not in it?
It sounds like I would have had a real big headache and had a few words with a few people. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's God's way of getting a headache. Not, I don't know. Like I said, I was just sitting here making my adjustments for that 8-lap run or however long it was. I just seen it froze up and boom! That's all I heard outside and froze up, lost connection. Going on in this race. I mean, it sounded like Bristol last few laps.
And this is the first race we've really seen it. We talk about you every week saying, you know what, you're not a lifter, you're not a strategy guy, it's full mat to the floor. But this week we saw a different Track Bar. We saw you get out of the gas, let that pack catch you, you fell back in line. Was that really your strategy halfway through, or did you start getting the lap counts down? You're like, you know what, I'm going to be short. I need to change up my game plan here.
Yeah, that caution, that one of those first cautions, I threw it off a little bit, and I knew I was going to have to save a little bit. And I was like, I'm just going to get myself far enough out front where I can just put it in. I had a gear setup, just put it in the 4th gear and just ride around about 7,800 RPM. So I was like, screw it, I'm just going to let them catch me and draft them. I ended up saving because I was about 2 laps short on gas. I was a lap and a half to the good and started going there to that run before we pitted and all. And when that caution came out, I was licking my chops. I was trying to let Bolt get to the outside of me because I knew he had a lap fresher tires. And that's a big difference in Michigan with the setups. It's 2 to 3 tenths. And I was going to get him to the outside of me and then try to get someone in behind me and just hang him out to dry. But caution came out. That happened with me, so I can't really say what would have happened, but I would have liked to have been there battling. But if I couldn't do it, I'm glad Sam could pull it through. I've been telling him for the longest time, I want to see him get a win. I've been helping him out here and there. And if I couldn't win, I'd like to see him win. Trust me, I'm not even mad at it.
Hey, he's usually my dark horse pick week in, week out. This is the first week I didn't really pick him, and I'm kicking myself right now because I thought those Fords had something for Michigan. And H, I got one more guy I'm going to try to talk to. Dohar, you got a copy. Dohar is probably punching a wall and hugging his dog.
I got a copy.
All right. I can hear the dejection in your voice. You had a monster of a car tonight. Strategy worked out into your play. What happened at the end of that race there? Because at the last restart, you were sitting about 12th on back, I think, if I remember correctly. Did you get caught in that big one going in? What occurred to shake you up out of that top 5?
I got involved in both those final wrecks. It was just rough circumstances. It wasn't anybody's doing. Brian and I were racing hard with Sam there coming off turn 4, trying to keep up with the 18 and the 37, and they were starting to pull away. And I don't know if Brian was trying to get behind me or I was trying to get in front of him, but he hooked my right rear, and I was steering it to the left because I was hooked on him. And when finally the contact let go, I was already cranked hard left and cranked into Sam. So that caution came out, and then when the final one came out there and we were mixing and matching it, I decided to pit when a couple guys didn't. And I got to the outside of Diego because I knew if I could get to the outside of the guys with older tires, I could probably get it. And Sam was trying to follow me, but he was linked up with Diego. And when Diego did just a slight swerve, it took Mordog's nose with him to the right and right into my left rear. And at that point, you can't do anything. You're kind of just along for the ride. So all in all, not a bad day. Came away still with top 15 in this league. That's saying something when you've got such a stiff competition. But to do that many green flag pit stops at Michigan in a league race isn't done all the time. So I hope that all these guys can take pride in that. It's a tough track because of how close everybody is on times, on track racing. But honestly, that was a lot of fun because that lead pack, I wanted to chime in, but you guys just had such a good flow on the broadcast. I didn't want to break it. But we were all, you caught on to it. We were playing cat and mouse. We were letting each other go and getting in front of each other, trying to save gas. Like that was kind of fun. And I know Track Bar doesn't really do that type of racing, but I think he'd even say he had a lot of fun doing that, just playing mind games with everybody.
Yep, and it was HD. It was Chess at 220 miles an hour at Michigan. Back up to you in the booth. I'm running up there to catch up with you here in a second.
Yeah, man, it was a great race. One question: is it your birthday, Mordog?
My birthday? No.
All right, thank God. Well, the birthday win
broke the
streak
curse.
is over. The curse is over here in the eSpark series, man. Anybody else got anything else to say before I cut it out?
I just want to say it was a great race tonight. Now, where are we going next week, Dohar?
We're going to Hotlanta. Hotlanta, boys.
Ooh, the Triers are going to be crying by the end of the night. It's going to be a good race, I think, next week, HD.
Oh, it's going to be a great race. Atlanta is one of my favorite tracks out there, mile and a half. A little wary on the tires, so that's going to be fun to watch, but definitely going to be a good one. I think these guys can get it done there. I mean, they got it done tonight, man. It was a hell of a race in Michigan.
Yeah. It was. It really was. It was a fuel mileage, high-speed shootout, and we watched it. 5 cars, 6 cars would group up, start battling out, lifting, rolling. Even Track Bar changed his entire MO that we watched all season long to a new system. So I got to say, these guys put on a hell of a show tonight. Only 2 cautions before those green-white checkers came out of 100 laps. And you know how green-white checkers happen. Cautions bring cautions. Everyone feels they got a chance for the lead. And once Track Bar blew his engine, everyone was pushing their weight up front for a chance to go into the championship race.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this eSpark Series race at Michigan, brought to you by Filter Time. I'm HG Motorsports. Joining me up in the booth, as always, Zane the Bearded One and Red 4424. I'm going to go grab a Mucinex because I'm currently battling cold. Make sure to tune in Friday night on my Twitch channel as I take on a Daytona 24-hour race sound iRacing. And until next time, guys, see you on the track.
Kiss the suck belly rubs.